Hello, what's up everybody? How is it going? Welcome to another video of tutorial series PHP Specials. I'm your host Anwar Ali, and today we'll continue the part 2 of submitting form via Ajax and jQuery. In last video we covered some of the basic jQuery and JavaScript, and today we'll continue to learn how to submit the form using Ajax without loading the page. So let me just grab the my folder that I was working on, and that is PHP Specials. Okay then, so we were working on like upload form. No, it was not upload, it was basic JS, right? So we learned some variable definition, we learned how to trigger click or hover, and also run some function after the trigger take place. So we prepend and we prepended after the click, and this was how we did it. And maybe now we should proceed with one new topic in jQuery, and that is Ajax. Okay, let me just quickly open my project, PHP_specials, and it was basic js.php. Okay, this is how we did it. Now let us start new topic. Now what I want to do is, after click me is clicked, I want to post something, or let's say I want to request to a URL and get a response from that URL. If you see a form, the form is doing the exactly same thing. It is sending request to a URL. The action that we mention in a form, for example in upload.php, when we did it last time, upload form.php, there was a form. Generally a form has an action, a method, and this is the URL that we are trying to request to. We are trying to request upload.php via post to get done something with respect to the data we send to that URL. So the URL that we are submitting the form to is known as request URL, and the method is post, and these are data. So if you want to do this without reloading the page, we can do this by Ajax, and Ajax has something similar. It has something, some same parameters like action, method, and datas, and it has one more, let's say property, or some, let's say some parameter that is known as success and even error. So let me just do something, make a simple Ajax request, and I want to make an Ajax request to a file known as, let's say, test Ajax. Okay, so test Ajax, I don't want to do anything, I just want to write ABCD over here and save it. Now in our basic JS, if I want to submit some data to test ajax.php along with some data or without any data, and grab the response from this page, which is ABCD, here is the procedure for that. So what I want to do is, whenever that anchor is clicked, click me is clicked, I want to request to this file, and in order to do that I need to use Ajax. And to write Ajax, the syntax of Ajax is $.ajax, and within round bracket and within the curly bracket of Ajax we write our parameters. And our first parameter would be just like in action of upload.php, we provide URL in case of Ajax, and followed by a colon, and within double quote or single quote we give the URL. So our URL is test_ajax.php, ajax.php. Similarly, it should be comma. After providing the parameter URL, we have to end the statement. It is not a statement actually, these are just parameter which are separated by comma. So my first parameter is URL and my URL is test_ajax.php. So my first URL is over and now I need to provide a comma. And maybe I could write a second parameter. I don't want to post any data or any method to this URL. I just want to hit the URL and grab the response. In order to do that, we need to provide a function and parameter known as success. After this is done, the success means after the submitting process is done, now what I want to do is I want to call a function and grab the response and put it inside res. So this parameter of function grabs the response from this URL and places it in res. You can give any name like abc or maybe res or maybe responc. This is just a variable, JavaScript variable, which holds the response from the URL that is requested. So what we are saying is call this URL test_ajax.php, and after the request process is done, call a function which grabs the response from this URL, and within the curly bracket we do what we want to do after the request process is done. For example, I just want to, let's say, alert the response. Now let's see what it does. Let me just refresh this, and since our test_ajax.php has abcd, so whatever is being displayed through this file, that is the response of that file. So this means abcd should be the response, and that should be placed in res as a string. So when I alert res, abcd should be alerted. Let's see. Click me. You can see abcd is alerted. So this was a simple Ajax request which requests a certain URL and grabs a response from that URL. Now in order to view that practically, what I want to request you is, I just want you to inspect, get you to the developers tool and go to the network. Let me just clear everything right now so that my network bar is empty. Now let us refresh this. It will show all those URLs that are being requested. So let me just clear this. Now if I hit click me, you can see that there are some URL that is being requested. So if I just hit click me, it says abcd, that means response. But before response, it is saying that test_ajax.php is being requested through method get. In which domain or in which, so if you want to view the detail, you can just click this and you can see, you can just ignore the headers, but this part is also very useful, but it is not of our concern right now. So we have let us just ignore this. We have not sent any parameter, so params is blank. So parameters are basically the data form data or some data that we are trying to send to that page or URL as get or post. So we have not sent any of the data, so there are no parameters for this request. After that, we will see a tab called response, which shows us what is being displayed in that URL, and it says abcd because we have done echo or maybe just printed abcd. So it is saying that the response is abcd. So the same response is being grabbed by res, and we are performing alert for that res, so abcd is being alerted. So this was a simple Ajax request. Now let us just elaborate it. What if I want to send some data to test_ajax.php? So in that case, we need to have one more parameter, say as data. And within the quote again, what I have to say is, let's say I want to send name equals to Anwar. okay, and I want to send, if I have to send more parameters, what I can do is I can separate the parameters with ampersand this way. So name equals to Anwar and gender equals to male. So by default, whenever we send data, it is being the URL is being requested through get. So get method. So this is saying I'm sending name and gender as get to this parameter. So what I need to do now is I need to fetch these data through $_get in this page. So what I can do is, so I can start my PHP, I can grab those data through $_get. So I would like to do name equals to $_get name, right? And $gender equals to $_get gender. So this way I fetch the name and I fetch the gender from in this URL, which is being sent via this Ajax. Now what I want to do is I just want to echo my my name is concatenate with $name, concatenate with and my gender is concatenate with gender. So I just fetch the data from name, I mean from this through this Ajax, which is being submitted through this Ajax. And what I did was I just fetched the name, I just fetched the gender, and I created the string that says my name is the name submitted, which is Anwar. So my name is Anwar and my gender is male. So this should be the response now, because this is being displayed in our browser. So this should be our response. Now if you go here and try to click me now, it should post, it should submit the data to this URL, and that data is being grabbed through $get, being concatenated and displayed in the browser. So our response now should be my name is Anwar and my gender is male, and that string should be alerted. Let's check that out. Refresh, clear everything for now. Let us just make the network tab blank and click on click me. Now you can see that test.ajax was being requested, and you can go to params and you can see that 2 parameters has been sent, and the gender as male and name as Anwar, and you can see in the header the request method was made as get, and the URL that I am requesting on was localhost PHP Specials test_ajax.php name equals to Anwar and gender equals to male. So using method get. So and my response is my name is Anwar and my gender is male, and the same response is being grabbed by RES, which we are using on alert. So this is how we request some URL by sending them some data, grabbing the response and using it. Now what if I want to send the data to this URL but not via get but via post? So in that case I need to have one more parameter that says type and colon, and within the quote we have to write post. So if you want to get, you can just leave it blank or just write down get. So if you don't mention anything, it means get, but if you want to specify some method, we can do it by saying post. So we are posting in this URL now with this data, and after the posting is completed, we can grab the response and print it. So now since we are posting the data via post, now instead of doing get we have to do it in $post, right? Let's refresh this, clear this, click me. You can see that my name is Anwar and my gender is male. I can see that. So this is how we post some data to some URL, or we can request some URL with some data via post or via get. Exactly the same thing is being followed whenever we are trying to submit a form. So since we have completed basic JS and we have tested Ajax via test_Ajax, now what I would like to do is I want to create a form and start everything from beginning from that form. So what I want to do is new file, Control S, and I want to say it like Ajax underscore form.php. And I would like to copy some basic thing from here like this URL, and let's just say control everything from here, copy everything from here and paste it, and I would just clear something that I don't need, and maybe even this, and maybe even just let us just do this. Okay, so I have basic HTML page setup where I just want to replace the title by saying Ajax form. I have the jQuery CDN pointed by the script. I don't need click me, and now I would like to create a form inside body. So form method equals to, we don't need to specify anything right now, even we don't even need a form at all, but let us just say I just want to, we don't need action, we don't need method, because we are controlling all those things through Ajax. So let me just create input type equals to text, and my name would be name, and let me just give some label that is name, and break some lines, and gender, and I would like to copy the same input and paste it and replace the name by gender. Now we should not use input type equals to submit, because submit actually submits the form. There is a way out to stop the submit button to submit the form, but we are not going to use that. We can just try out by anchor. Okay, so a href equals to hash, which means do nothing, and I can write here submit. Okay, so this anchor will behave as a submit button for us, because we are not submitting the form via button, but we are submitting the form with Ajax, right? So what I want to do is I want to give some class name over here. Class equals to, let's say, submit. Okay, now at the same time I want to give some class to each and every field as well. So class equals to name, class equals to gender. Okay, now what I want to do is whenever this submit button or submit anchor is being clicked, I want to grab the name, I want to grab the gender and send it via Ajax to some other page. So let us just prepare our parameters and data first. So what I want to do is whenever $dot submit, whenever the anchor with submit class submit is clicked, then perform a function and grab the value of name and gender. So in order to do that, I need to create a variable called var name equals to, so in order to grab its value, there's a way that says dollar dot, the class name is name, dot, the class name is name, so I need to do dot name, and to grab the value, what I want to do is I have to call a function called val this way. So what this val does is the function val grabs the value whatever has been typed in this input, and the selector defines which input to be, the value of which input should be grabbed. So it is saying that grab the value of the input which has class name in it. So the class name is here, so it is grabbing the value from this input and placing it in, assigning the value to variable name. Similarly, I would like to grab the gender and $dot gender dot val. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the value of name and placing it in name variable. I'm grabbing the value of gender and placing it in gender variable. Now my next step would be sending these parameters or sending this data to some other URL. So for that I would like to create a new function, new file where I will perform submit. So let's say submit underscore ajax dot php, So this is where I will be submitting my form. So let us start by writing Ajax now. So $.ajax, my URL will be submit underscore ajax.php, submit underscore ajax.php, and my data will be name and gender. So what I will do is name equals to this variable. So I need to concatenate this variable with this string, because in order to concatenate string with variable we have to use concatenate operator, and for JavaScript the concatenate operator is plus. So I'm concatenating name equals to, so if it was not a variable we would just say name equals to Anwar and gender equals to male. But right now this is not a normal string but a variable, so what I need to do is I need to concatenate it. So instead of writing Anwar, what I will do is I will write the single quote and plus plus, and within the plus sign I'll write name. So this way I concatenated the name with this string. Similarly, if I want to concatenate this gender to this string, I'll just remove this and concatenate it with gender, right? So this is how I sent the data to this URL. Now how would I like to send this data to this URL? For that I need to write another attribute type. So if I want to send this data via post or via get, so let us say I'm trying to send this data via post. Now after I have sent this data and after the sending process is done, it should grab some response, and in success I'll call a function, grab the response if I have to. It is not necessary that I should always grab the response. So even if I don't grab the response, I can just say after the posting is done, I would say alert form submitted successfully. Okay, and since I'm not using any response over here, so I can just remove it or just let it be like this, because maybe in future maybe I need to use the response. Okay, so submit underscore ajax.php. Now in submit underscore ajax.php I need to grab the name, grab the gender, assign it to some variable, or maybe even use it to save this value to the database. So in submit.php I need to grab the name and gender. So my name would be $_post name, and my gender would be, let's just say $gender equals to $_post gender. Now we can use this variable in any way we like, even to submit the value to the database. So we might have some table over here, localhost / php myadmin. Let's see if we have any database in any table to store this information to. Let's see, in users we have name and gender. Let us just try to send one more thing, email, and post it and save it in this table. Okay, so let us make another field that says email between name and gender. Make it email and class equals to email. We actually even don't need names, okay, because we are handling everything through class this way. Let me just grab the email equals to $.email.val. So I'm grabbing the value of email and I would like to send this as another parameter or another data. So name equals to name and ampersand, gender equals to gender ampersand, email equals to plus email. So I'm sending these three data to this URL. So I can now grab email with post. So I have three variables now, name, email, and gender. So I can now submit these three variable to this table in these fields. So first of all, I need to connect to database. So I'd like to create a link that says mysql_connect. in order to connect to my database server, which is local host. My host name is localhost, my username is root, and my password is mysql for amps. I'm using amp server. You might have blank if you are using XAMPP or WAMP, and my database name is PHP underscore Specials. Now I need to prepare a query. Insert into my table name is users, and I would like to save my name, my email, and my gender with values. So name, for this is for name, this is for email, and this is for gender. So name would be concatenate with $name, email would be concatenate with $email, and my gender would be concatenate with $gender. So in order to execute this query, I would like to use mysqli underscore query. The first parameter would be the link, which is returned by this mysqli underscore connect, and my second parameter would be the query. So this will insert my values to the table, this table, without reloading the page through Ajax. Let's see. Now let us give a demo. My file name is ajax underscore form.php. So I got my name, I got my email, I got my gender. After I hit submit, it should submit the value and insert the values to this database, right? So we have name at last. Now what I would like to do is I would like to just create a test user, saying test user, and my email is test@test.com, and my gender is female, let's say, and if I hit submit, these three values should be requested to be these three values should be submitted to submit underscore ajax.php via post, and I grab these values and I should submit this value to the database, and that should be exactly what we are trying to do. So let's try this out. I will clear this request right now, so you can monitor in the network. Click on submit, and it says form submitted successfully, and it is sending to form to submit underscore ajax.php via post. And what are being submitted? So the parameters are email, gender, and male, which was being sent by post, and my response is nothing. So I haven't used response in my success function. What I just did was alert form submitted successfully, and this is what it happened. So let us test if the value was posted. So last parameter is dim. So if I click on browse again, we can see that nothing happened. And why didn't it work? Let's check this out quickly. And the submit underscore ajax, so submit underscore ajax, the post name, post email, and post gender, MySQLi connect, localhost, root, MySQL PHP Specials, insert into users. It is users, not user. So that was my mistake. Now let us try that again. If I click this, now it should work. Okay, now just click and try to see if the value is here. You can see test user test@test.com and female. So my values of this field this form has been submitted to test ajax underscore submit underscore ajax.php with ajax without reloading the page. So this does the trick of submitting form values to another page or even saving to database and without reloading the page at all. So I hope this tutorial will be useful for you to do lots of stuff, like even implementing some comment forms where the user submits the comment, page is not reloaded, and the comment is being appended in the div or in some block, comment block, or you can use these forms on various things as you wish. So this is how we can do this. I hope you found this really helpful, and if you did, please Feel free to like and subscribe and share the video. I would really appreciate it. I will visit you tomorrow again with a new video, new topic, and we'll discuss that. Till then, have a nice day, have a nice time. Goodbye.